Hello and welcome. I'm Rahul and you're watching me on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, Rahul Talks. And if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. I always come to inspire you, to give you certain insights based on which you can make your decision in life, how to go ahead and how to make better decisions in life. Because until unless you don't have certain vision, you cannot make it better. The actions that you will take, the opportunity that will come in your way, because if you will attain certain knowledge, and if you will inform yourself and abreast yourself with latest developments, what will happen? It will give you an edge over others, in determining things. It will give you clarity how to take actions and how to make better decisions in life. And that is what I want to foster. I want to always give certain insights which can be positive. Many times I talk about motivational things, and motivation includes a lot of things. The real thing that prevents you from getting self-confidence, or wherever you feel, despondent or desolate in life, you find certain secluded time and you become despondent. What are the real cause of that? I deal with that. I try to bring a spiritual thing and a spiritual talks in between motivational talks, because I strongly believe that many people, the root cause of their being sad is rooted in spiritual things. They don't even realize what is happening to them. So and there comes self motivation. There comes how to be more confident, and how to bring conviction to self confidence. If you'll have self confidence, 90% of problems will be solved there. Because mental problems, problems related to your psyche, where you get despondent and get yourself reclusive, where you find that there is nothing ahead, where you break yourself, is 90% of the root cause is of that lower self-confidence. And there are a lot of things, depriving your self-confidence. There are a lot of things, and that is why I try to deal with that. It is not limited to your physical happenings, your physical world's happenings, the events that are unfolding in your life. It is not limited to there only. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of forces in the universe which is working on subtle level, and if you are getting ascensions, they try to deprive you, they try to, take you back, keep you from developing. That happens, and that is why I try to deal with that. I try to bring all the truths that can happen subtly, to your mental level, to your psyche level. I want to deal with that. I want to show you exactly how you can mend your ways, how you can bring conviction to your confidence. That is what I want to tell you. You have to keep yourself someone who can always see something more. Where do you feel frustrated? When you want to do certain works, when you want to embark on a journey to bring something new in your life, to bring some positivity, if you embark to do certain business, certain job, where do you get afraid? Because of the loss of information, because of the less information you have. That is why you tremble there. That is why you lose your confidence. That is why you get timid there, because you don't have information how to do that, and that makes you terrified. It happens to everybody. When you explore the unknown, it is natural that you will be engulfed in little kind of frustration or something, some kind of negative negative attitude, negative thinking will be developed in your mind. How to encounter that? The best way is to be positive and open to learn everything. Keep in your mind that whatever you don't know, you can learn that, you can solve that. And everybody who have gone through that path, they have encountered the same problem and they have embraced the change, they have embraced the knowledge, and then only they solve that very problem. Yeah, a little bit more you will be frightened. But what happens once you will have the knowledge how to deal with that very problem, how to do and solve that very problem, once you get that information, the problem will be solved there. You're afraid kind of, if you're afraid, your timidness vanishes there, because you got the information how to do that. And once you do that, you get confidence, self-confidence. This is called self-confidence. And once you have self-confidence and conviction that you can execute that very thing, that timid, that bad negative thoughts, that timidness will go away. that frightening things will go and vanish. This is the power of information. This is the power of knowing. So everything is related to your knowledge. How to do that, how to embrace, how to make your mental ability to capture all that knowledge and to embrace all that knowledge that are laid down. Nowadays you have, mobile in your hand, you have access to world wide web and internet. You can access everything. But if you don't know how to read that, if you don't know the language to decode that, how will you embrace the change? That is why I tell you all the time that knowing this language, English is a global language, but once you know that, you can have access to all the repository of knowledge which is encoded in this language. You can learn all these things. But many times problems comes, to bring it in practicality. Many people know what happens, the information they get, they read, but they don't bring it in practicality, and that's why they get afraid. But once you do execute that practical thing in once in life, after absorbing that way knowledge, everything get clear. But you have to understand how to decode that way knowledge and bring it into practicality, into pragmatic approach, so that you can solve that very problem. Many a problem, I'm telling you that many a manager in bank, I don't want to reveal that, but they get afraid of the new policies that come, because there are certain information gaps in distribution of knowledge. Whatever policy come, if they make information gap, they won't be able to solve the problem. They get afraid to bring that kind of a scheme, to bring it and to disseminate it to people, to impart it to people. They really get afraid because they don't know all the policies, and they are always, no, it is not clear. Many policies, many circular are hidden, or they are not brought in a proper channel so that people could understand, the manager could understand how to disseminate, how to impart that very scheme, that very policy. That's why they get afraid, and it is associated with 90% of bank managers, because there are many policies that come each and every day, and many policies there could be certain information gap that comes in different segregated information. They don't get everything in one together at one place, so it happens, they get afraid. The same will happen to many people in whatever business you do, whatever job you do. It happens to everybody. So that's why information gap is big problem, and that's why always I treat that, first of all, collect information. Try to bring all that circular that is laid down to you, and try to enhance your activity to learn that way circular and to bring into practicality. Once you have to execute that, once you learn, you execute that, you just execute that and it will happen. Everything is provided. If you don't know, we don't know, many times we have to call to other departments, to all the people who have done that, and because they have encountered that problem, they have solved that, they will give you information, and once you get information, you get confident that you can execute that. So this is the problem with every department, associated with every department. It is not limited to one person, and it is same with all the person in the world. Every person encounters that problem. Once you have knowledge how to execute a particular business, you will certainly be able to make more money. But you don't have that very information, that's why you lack there. And it is the time, it is a dynamic time. You haven't given the opportunity to enhance your knowledge. Once you will enhance your knowledge, if you listen to me continuously for 60 days, your English communication will be really good. And once you will decipher all these languages, try to read many books, many circular, whatever comes in your way, and try to be more active. You will feel that from ages you have tried, but one day will come in your life when you will feel that there is a substantial change in your life because of that habit that you have inculcated to do it consistent and continuously. The persistency and resilience came even after you were losing that free hope, but you didn't left that. You've been consistent, and that's why you achieved that. That is the magic. That is the magic of knowing. That is the magic of information. That is the magic of resilience and hard work. That is what transpires, so makes you a different person. Whoever makes more money, they have worked on certain practical approach and certain knowledge, and that is why they are getting money. Why they attract more money? That because they open their mindset and they learn something new. That is why many people see that learn, unlearn, and relearn. Many people say that, many educators say that you should have an ability to learn at any point of time, whatever it is you are at. If you embrace the change of learning everything and unlearn whatever was obsolete, which is not of useful, Try to unlearn that, forget that. Try to make a clean space in your mind, to absorb new things and be open all the time. Relearn. When you forget that, try to relearn again. Then it will be, in your mind, in your cabinet. Whenever you want to access that, you can access that when you relearn. So learn, unlearn, and relearn. All three has an impact in your life, and that is why I want to tell you that many problems can be solved with your positive approach. That is the power of information that I want to tell you. The next thing I want to deal with you, that is at subtle level, at spiritual level. Yeah, many forces stops you in a different way. They are working on a very subtle level. They don't make you able to learn the knowledge. Sometimes it happens, or whatever knowledge comes, you find that you have more difficulties in learning that because of certain attitude or certain problems which is very subtle at your mental level. But don't never think that it is a big problem, that is why there is certain entity which is stopping you. If you think much more of that, you will make yourself end up in such kind of gravity that you will never come out of that. You have to keep this in your mind only. You won't have to deal with other people, because if you will tell other person that this subtle force is trying to stop me, they will think of you that you are mad, or you will become mad thinking of that. Many times if you will think that there are subtle forces which are keeping me from achieving something great, they are stopping me, something is happening to me, what happened to my mind, what happened to my heart, I'm getting very frightened. If you're thinking in that very way and losing your hope, you'll never achieve that. Rather confront that. Yeah, knowing it is better if you know that there are subtle forces, very subtle, but it is very easy to counteract them. You should have guts, you should have mental positivity. And many a person I have seen that they know exactly all the things, but they don't want to talk about that. When you will open with them, when you will try to discuss with them, that these forces works in this way, they know exactly that it happens, but they will never mention. And that is why they keep it secret. It is not a bad thing to keep it secret, but I want to discuss it because many people get in that kind of situation. That is why I want to discuss. I know how to control my nerves and how to control my imaginations, because every crazy imagination, whatever you comes, if you are keeping yourself not to be crazy, then you are doing the right thing. And we have learned it after the cost of losing everything, then we regain it, and now we are forwarding and marching that on that very path, counteracting these forces and making them void, or counteracting them and trying to show them exactly that the path that they should embark on, that they should be confined where they are emanating from. So we are trying to confine all these negative forces, and that is what we believe in. Because if I will try to let them bear, if I will try to make them understand, that they have no significance, then only I will wage my own war. Because once you lose because of that kind of thing, it always lingers in your mind that I lost there because of these forces, because of this thing. And this is the time to counteract these things, to show them their place where they belong, not in the entirety, but the confined places. Negative forces don't have certain powers, so they should belong to that very thing. If they overwhelmed you, if they confined you, and if they have taken all things back from you, once you emerge from ashes, try to confine them, try to wage your war. Try to show them exactly the part that they should belong. I'm just trying to tell you exactly, at a spiritual level it happens, and that is why I'm trying to tell you exactly. If you listen to me continuously for 6 months, many things will open to you. Many secrets will open to you. I don't want to reveal everything in one video, and it cannot be said also. Because spirituality is something that if you will make your way in that very thing, it has a vast universe. You will get lost there, or something what will happen. You will emerge as a real person whose aura, whose intensity of knowledge will go beyond the boundaries, beyond the demographic limitations, the demographic boundaries. It will permeate to many big distances. It happens. This is the power of your knowledge. This is the power of spiritual knowledge as well. I won't say that who has not gone through education on if you go through being a Baba or someone, you will find enlightenment. Maybe you will find peace and tranquility, you may find. But I will not give them much more value than that of an educated person, and who is fine with a good concern. And if he is educated, I will give them the educated person more value, because it is easy to go and find peace, when you are being reclusive, or when you are keeping yourself secluded from your family. But the weightage goes to more to that person who have fought with the society, living in the society, and encountered all that problem and solved every problem, being with family, got education, got knowledge, slogged his ass, whatever I want to say, for education for 21 years, then he got that knowledge, and after that he found tranquility and peace of mind and spiritual knowledge as well. That's why I will give them more value, not that very person who educate, if were not educated, I don't want to give them more value. And that's why, PM Modi or Yogi, whatever you say, I don't give them much more values. I don't believe in them, because there are many actions have proved that they don't have that kind of skilled knowledge that they should have. I totally confront them. You would have seen me at the time of election campaign. I have totally disregarded them, totally boycott them, and that has transpired into something meaningful, because the person who can take action, he identifies every person, who is more dangerous to him. If he can reach his territory to disregard his ability, or whatever you say, to confront his influences in that very reason, if he can do such a big thing for that, for himself, and identifying that kind of person for gaining a seat, or for gaining such kind of power, if he can do that, he is not a sage or not someone else. If he cannot give values to all the educated person, if he get jealousy to all the civil service aspirants who is getting red bulb, that kind of mentality he has, selling tea, if he got such kind of jealousy that babus and all these persons should not be given that kind of values, this kind of thinking in his mind, always lingers, and that's why he takes decision. He today took unified payment system, pension system. Today he brought in, government cabinet gave nod to that, but he has not included banks and PSUs. He has given to central government and state government, and all the works, whatever he wants to do, he wants to get it done by banks. So these kind of mishappenings, because he sold tea to bankers, and bankers have scolded him sometimes in past, and that's why he behaves like that very way. That's why I know exactly what he is doing. That's why I disregard him. I don't respect him anymore. But I don't want to confront, I don't want to use vulgar language. I don't never use, and I would not like to do that. Many times we are young, that's why we get instigated by our feelings, That's why we get provocated, It happens, provocated, many times, because of certain posts, of certain actions. They have taken very many wrong actions, and that's why I don't really agree with him. And we should be, if you are a good citizen, if you are really a national fighter or national freedom, whatever you say, if you want to secure, you should always denounce the government if he is taking wrong actions. You should never appreciate him, never appreciate him. If you will show the government what the wrong things he is doing or it is doing, you will understand exactly that you are doing the right thing for the country, for your people. And if you will not take action, if you will not raise your voice, who will raise against him? They will be draconian. You don't understand exactly. So whatever is happening right now in the Indian government, or whatever you say, the power that has been rationalized, the seats has been rationalized to almost 295 or 290, another party got that kind of seat. It is good for democracy. It is not bad. Many were weeping, many were crying. The bastards, what are you doing? You're not thinking of nation, There should not be always so much powerful government who can bring draconian laws and will be thinking of himself that he is the most powerful, even powerful than that of God, that kind of actions he was taking. People were dying on the street, but he was not reversing that very action. So that's why you have to understand exactly that whatever is happening, there is a cause, but until unless you don't become the catalyst, how it can happen soon. That's why the time matters. Time has a strong power. And that's why we want to decide everything within time. Thank you for listening to me.